What's going on, everybody? Danny here on behalf of Pit Crew. I have Allan from Lilith Rising with me tonight. And Allan, thanks for joining, man.
Oh, absolutely, man. Thanks so much for having me on and getting the word out about us.
Oh man, I'm happy to. I'm happy to. So, as is traditional, I'd love to get to know you a little bit. So, Lilith Rising, you are a symphonic prog metal type sound from Charlotte. How how would you? I mean, what would you do from there? How would you describe yourselves? Who would you allude yourself to?
Uh, Female-fronted progressive symphonic metal.
Like it.
Uh, we we've been moving in that direction for the past year and a half, 2 years. So we're just going to explore that because we love the music, we love all the layers, we love all the complexity and everything, and we just want to make it real.
Well, I would definitely say that you all make it real. You've got a couple different tracks that I've been able to listen to between the EPK, Spotify. I think the big one that we have on Loud and Local is Dear Lilith.
Mhm.
So let's talk about that one for a second because I mean between Taryn's vocals and then just the dark undertones of the song, what's that song? What's the basis for that song, and where's your head at when you're playing something like that?
Uh, for that one, but for playing it, it's actually a lot of fun for me because of the different changes throughout the song. It's a challenge and it's fun. Uh, the song itself is pretty self-explanatory. If you listen closely to the lyrics, it's about Lilith. Uh, so we have several songs in making reference to Lilith. So
And so
we like
for those that may not be familiar with you, can you give us some background on Lilith?
there are multiple different ways of looking at it. Mine is pretty much cut and dry. She was what was referred to as the first woman. She was cast out of the Garden of Eden because she would not be subservient to man. And on some of our T-shirts that we did, if you see them around on the back of it, it says "Exist as Lilith, never as Eve."
That's that's powerful. It's a big statement. And sorry, I keep trying to jump on and off a mute. My dog is going absolutely nuts. So just my apologies. Just that time. So, but man, that's cool. That's cool. So you said that that's for you, and in your interpretation, is that the consensus of the group? Is that how would you
It is.
if you were to put yourself in everybody else's shoes? Is that kind of the same MO?
We it's pretty much the basic interpretation of the name for Lilith, or of Lilith, I should say. Um, the name actually came about. We were standing outside of a place in Myrtle Beach after a show 2 years ago, and because we're born from a different band, and I was the last original member of that band. Really was not a fan of the name at all. I thought it sucked. and,
Good honesty.
and
I like it.
I said, you know what? We're going to rebrand. This is our last show of the year. We're going to rebrand and come out as something different. And we started tossing around ideas, and it went from uh, some crazy stuff I threw out in the band chat, some Latin names. Basically, when you were translated, it was "I love bacon," and but reading it in Latin, it's totally different.
Oh, and I'm sure it sounds badass as hell.
And then we settled on Lilith Rising, and we branded as that, and began our journey to where we are now.
You know, you guys have been a band for about 3 years at this point in
Right,
current state,
right.
and you just released a new song last month. I think it was maybe earlier this month.
Void of us.
Yes, sir. So I was really intrigued by that too because that it was just a very slow, methodical, but powerful song. So, can you talk to me a little bit about I guess the writing process and how that's evolved, because now here you all are 3 years in as a band, you've evolved, you've grown. And between this song and I think I saw that you have an EP in the works about to drop hopefully later this year.
Right. That one there, Taryn does the majority of the lyrics. Uh, and it goes one of two ways. Either we come up with music and she adds lyrics to it, or she comes up with the lyrics and gives us the background and we develop the music from there. Uh, Void of Us was written, uh, and if I don't get this right, she's probably going to knock me out. Uh, Breaking up with somebody breaking up with you, even though you still cared about them, and then how they leave you. All the things that could have happened, but that's happening in the void of us.
Hmm.
I think the song is really haunting. I've heard that multiple times, and she just absolutely nails it with her vocals. Uh, the best of all the compliments I've heard about her vocals, I heard the best one this past weekend, in my opinion, which a friend of mine told me. He said, "Dude, her voice is just lethal."
That is a
And
great word for it because it pierces. I mean, it pierces you.
yeah,
It absolutely it will leave chill bumps right down you. It yeah.
and we've had people come to us and tell us, we can't listen to the song without crying.
Mm.
You know, I'm not allowed to listen to this song because it makes my boyfriend cry or my husband cry, and we're like, good. That's we won't. You want to have a song that has an effect on people, and it's not that we're trying to make you cry or trying to make you mad or anything like that, but to have an effect and have a song reach people is it's a really good thing.
Oh, it really is. And between haunting and lethal, just spinning y'all's tracks, you can feel those words truly are perfect for it. So what's it like performing them? And like, are you able to see people experiencing the music, or can, is it just a complete just mind screw over of that? Like, I'm just trying
It's
to fathom what that's like, given how strong these songs are.
a lot of people in the area know of us and have seen us, and they thankfully they keep coming back to see us and what we have to offer, which we're so grateful and appreciative of that, of our fans. uh to look down from the riser and see people moving and just all into it, it's just it's a great feeling. And I'm speaking for myself because not a lot of times I get to see what's going on out there from my vantage point. Uh, but the reactions once the songs are finished and hearing how the crowd reacts, we know we're doing something right.
It's a good way to put it. And uh, again, it's unfortunate that I have not yet seen you all, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to do so. But just listening to the music, Lilith Rising is an experience. It's not I'm just going to sit and listen. It is I'm going to sit and absorb it, which
I
is just
appreciate that.
just really it's a cool feel that you don't get from just anybody. So what you guys are doing is really cool.
uh, I would be love to hear your take on the three new ones that are going to be coming out over the next few months.
Well, and so that was going to be one of my questions that I had for you, because y'all dropped this really gorgeous, sunshiny image on Facebook with a big old fuck your feelings. So I don't want to get too far ahead and necessarily spoil anything,
uh,
but I mean, I'm immediately intrigued because I'm looking at it, and there is something heavy that is going on there, and not necessarily heavy in the like power chords and mosh pit per se, but heavy in just this emotional realm just from looking at this photo.
uh,
So what can you leak without getting yourself in too much trouble?
That one is a continuation of Void of Us. It is a continuation of that one. Uh, we're gonna have to do a radio edit version of it because it's really not gonna be played on a radio in its current state. Uh, but it's a great song. It's melodic. It's very in the same vein as far as it has haunting lyrics to it, but it's pretty much once I guess you could put it as once you realize you're past the Void of Us, then you know, fuck your feelings.
Nice. So it's almost a song of victory, is what it sounds like.
Something like that.
That's
Something like
cool.
that. And
That's really cool.
we have a really heavy time changing uh song coming up after that. It's called Wrath.
Okay.
Oh, I love playing the song. It's just I recorded drums for it, and I'm like, I fucking love this.
Hell yeah.
It's got some parts in it that it makes me want to break shit behind my kit,
That's fun.
and I try to because it's just you get into it. And then we have another one. Uh, I'm not going to say too much about it, but our new guitarist, wrote the music for it, and then Taryn put the lyrics on it, and it's very different from the other two, but it's it'll remind you of another band once you hear it.
Okay.
A very high profile band.
Gotcha.
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
I know I'm certainly intrigued. Is there a tentative target date for dropping either the songs or the EP in totality at this point?
We actually have this Sunday we're actually filming two videos. Uh, one for uh, Done With You, one for Wrath. Those are the next two coming out.
Okay.
Uh, and I think the plan is to have Done With You out, video and everything on in July.
Okay.
August we'll see Wrath, and then September we'll see the other one.
That's
We're
awesome.
wanting to keep it month to month to month.
Yep.
Uh, but yeah, we're taking on the tall task this weekend of filming two videos in one day.
Well, hopefully that is a memorable and not overly painful experience because I hear it could be a little bit of both.
It can be, but it's a lot of fun. I've found it to be a lot of fun. Uh, Taryn's husband has own. He started his own video company,
Okay.
and he's done all of our videos so far.
Well, that's cool.
And so he's taking care of these. We have extras in these videos we're doing this weekend, so we're getting a little bit more elaborate with what we're
Hmm.
doing, and it's going to be fun. I've been watching the weather, hoping that things around here clear off a little bit, so that way we can have some decent weather on Sunday for what we're doing.
It has not been pleasant. I'm just a hour and a half or so north of you, and it's been an interesting ride with weather and doesn't look overly promising. So my fingers are crossed that it clears up, and if nothing else, from the sounds of it, it may give some very good boating feel to whatever the music video has in store.
Agreed. I mean, we'd love to have that, but we'd also not want to be standing out there soaking
Think.
wet,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
playing cardboard cutouts of our gear because we're not going to sit it out in the rain.
Yeah, not a fun way to spend the day looking back on what could have been.
So
So
you said an hour and a half. You're where?
I'm up in Winston.
Winston. Man,
Yes, sir.
we had an issue earlier this year when our guitarist abruptly walked away.
Mm.
We were actually supposed to be at Monstercade
Mm-hmm.
in I think it was June the 2nd. I
Okay.
think it was. We had to wipe all of our dates through July. So,
Well,
but we'll be in. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, coming up, we're traveling to Winchester, West Virginia on August the 4th. Then we'll be in Erie, Pennsylvania with Eden on Fire on August the 5th. September 9th, we are actually at the Skylark in Charlotte.
Very cool.
That's August. I'm sorry, September. October, we're headed back to Erie, Pennsylvania for an all-day female-fronted festival,
Very
including
cool.
all female vendors. Everything has to do with the power of women. And then November 19th, we're returning to our second hometown of Gastonia for the third Women of Rock. We're actually headlining that one at the Rooster.
That's cool. I know the Rooster has been lining up awesome powerhouse events, so that's been really cool. So you're heading up to PA a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a home base in some capacity up that way? Just open arms? Any kind of roots?
We've connect no, none whatsoever. We've just connected with all these female fronted bands, and it's just, and I'm not trying to throw any shade or anything like that, but if you look, the kind of the female fronted bands, unless you're on a national or international level, there's kind of not a lot, there. We're trying to change that, and we're partnering with these other bands in different areas, and we want to show everybody that you've got these powerful female fronted bands, that these ladies in this area, in your area, can sing.
Yes.
Give them a chance. Give every local band a chance, but you know we've got a point to prove.
I think it's a great statement. And obviously Taryn's not here, so hopefully I won't get you in trouble by asking this question, but kind of just harping on her vocal work for a moment because it is so bold. Does she have a specific training background that kind of got her to this point that just complements this vibe so well? Or, I mean, she just wake up one day and start belting out some amazing vocals?
She can do opera.
Does not surprise me at all. I mean, you
she
hear that
started
range, it's phenomenal.
she started doing that, and of course, I'm the elder statesman of the band, and it's been her and I together for the past 2 years or so.
Okay.
And early on, we discovered that we both love a lot of the same bands, enjoy the same style of music, this European symphonic metal, Nightwish in particular, Epica, uh, other bands like that. And we wanted to get into that and start doing that, which we're moving closer and closer to all that. And but yeah, she has the range. Uh, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's what I've told her and other folks. It's an amazing thing for me to be able to sit back there and not only listen but watch her perform. It's just,
Well, and then to be able to channel that into the kit as you're there again, I can imagine the experience just from on the stage as much as off of it. So now, what about you? How I know that you mentioned this isn't your first project, so I would imagine you've been playing for some time at this point. Has it always been this genre? What got you started? How'd you get to where you are today?
oh God, many years ago, uh, I started playing, and the first time I sat down behind a drum kit, it felt comfortable. It felt right. And uh, I had fell in with some guys, and thought we were actually going to do something. They decided all they wanted to do was just get together and jam. Now, this is back in the 80s. So it kind of pissed me off. Uh, Sold the drum kit, quit playing. And then fast forward 20 some odd years, uh, my daughter sees a commercial on TV about Guitar Center and her drum sale. And my wife tells me, maybe you could teach her to play. Okay. Buy her a drum kit, work with her on it. She gravitates towards the keyboard and such, which I'm fine with. Uh, I beef up the kit. I start playing around with a blues band, which I love playing the blues. I love playing blues music. Uh, Moved from there. I got the opportunity to play in a rock band, southern rock, stuff like that. We did some covers, mostly originals. Uh, we did really well and went along, and then work got me pulled away from that, and then fell in with another guitarist doing some just ambient jam style stuff. I mean, we could take a song and start playing it, and an hour later we'd finish it. It was just ups and downs and everything, and that's where basically that was the foundation of Lilith. It was the band I'm speaking of was Winter Solstice. God, I hate that name. And uh, the singer left, and Taryn and I were introduced through a mutual friend of ours. And then the guitarist left, and here we are now.
That's a good deal. So it's fascinating to hear. You got Taryn who can hit the range of opera. You've got Allan with this blues, ambience, rock, and just to see it meld together to what it is. Now, what about the other two? Can you speak to their influences at all?
The other three,
Other three, I'm
uh,
sorry.
yeah, we became a two guitarist band.
Okay.
Uh, the and what's really funny is I think I'm the only drummer that plays in a band with three bass players. They're they're all three bass players, and two of them, they're all three can play guitar. And
Wow.
so uh, the first one that came in, he came in on bass, and then like I said, the guitarist at the time abruptly quit, and he stayed up all night that Friday night learning all the songs on guitar. So he was pissed,
Yeah.
but he's super talented, and uh, he and I just locked in right out, personality wise and musically. And then we have another guitarist. I'm not wanting to say too much because she's wanting to announce them
Okay.
over the next coming weeks.
Gotcha.
Uh, and together they complement each other. Uh, and it does have a more full sound with the
Okay.
two guitars because they're playing off of each other. And then our bass player come in. Uh, it was really endearing. This might turn into a little bit of a long story, and I apologize.
That's
But
all right.
when he sent in his video audition, we're watching it, and he's playing "Dear Lilith," and his daughter is sitting in a chair behind him, headbanging to it, and we're like, "Okay, definitely, we got to get this guy in here." Well, he comes in, he gains the spot, and we had to back up and punt on May the 13th. That was supposed to be our first show of the year. We had to back out of it because of the guitarist quitting. But uh, we had a band drop the week of, and we talked about it fast one night, and we decided, okay, we'll open it. We can't really do a whole lot, but we'll open it.
Hmm.
Done some shuffling around, and we played the show, and here I am looking down from the drum riser, and I see these two little kids just right there at the front of the stage. Two cute little girls. They're just having the time of their life. So when we hit Void of Us, I come down from behind the riser to go off stage because that's solely for everybody to understand the voice that is Lilith Rising. You get to experience that all at once. And as I walked off the riser, I felt the one stick break during the first song because I was just beating the shit out of them. And I took the sticks down and I handed one to each of them. Turns out it was our bass player's daughters.
Oh God, that's awesome.
And she made it clear she's taking drum lessons, and she told her drum teacher that she wanted to learn how to play Dear Lilith.
Wow.
So I said, okay, I can teach her to play that one.
That is amazing. That probably made you feel like just the epitome of rock stardom right there. Like,
It's for me when I got back into this, I said I wanted to inspire one person, just one person. Pick up an instrument, learn the craft, and don't depend upon a computer to make your music. Actually learn the craft, learn and feel what it's like to truly play that instrument. And I've experienced that. Surprisingly, my nephew took up drums because of me.
wow.
And I bought him his first set, much to his
I was
parents.
gonna say I know how that went over, but that's all right.
But he writes his own music. He plays in a at church. He plays in a praise band as well, and uh, he does he plays drums for another friend of his who's a musician. They kind of go around and play these little small places because they're not old enough to get into clubs yet.
Of course, right.
Yeah, plus he runs cross country in college. So I'm like, Jesus, dude, could your workload be just a little bit more?
I was gonna say, does he actually have time for class?
Actually, he does. I mean, but that was there he is. I inspired one person. Didn't expect it to be him,
Yep.
but yay for me.
Man, hats off to you for that. That's an awesome, awesome feeling and a great story to be able to share. So I think it, I don't know. I always end up finding myself going down tangents of just life on these calls, and I'm just like, the more and more I have an opportunity to talk to people, the more you see a lot of this theme of there's a million things going on, but it's what is it that really matters, and it's all about that one. It's all about those people in that immediate sphere, that community, that family, whatever it is. So you're living it, man. That's awesome.
No, it's great. I couldn't be more happy. Being able to, I'm fortunate to be able to do what I'm doing with the bandmates that I have, and to have become friends with so many talented musicians. I mean, it's one thing I've always said is, you can spend two, three, four, five, $600 to go see these huge bands. Why don't you go down to one of your local venues and check out the talent that's there?
Yep.
And
The
you'd be
the raw
surprised.
talent at and I mean the Gastonia Charlotte scene is bursting with it right now for sure.
No,
So,
it's
and it's
the
everywhere.
level, yeah, and the level of talent that these bands have is just mind blowing. I mean,
Yep.
I find myself, whether I'm at a local or regional or big show, I always gravitate to where I can watch the drummer,
Yeah.
uh, just because I want to learn what they're doing. I want to see how they're doing it, and so I can improve my skill set. I mean, I just, like one of my T-shirts says, I hit shit with sticks. So, if I can learn from these other cats that are out here doing it and improve what I'm doing, then good. And if they can learn from me, then great.
That
Let's
that's
let's
what it's
do
all
this.
about right there. That's exactly it. Well, Alan, I want to be mindful of time, and always like to throw a random question towards the end of just a let's get to know the person behind the rock star kind of feel. So, my random question for you tonight, as the elder statesman, as I believe you called yourself,
Mm-hmm.
adulting has been known to suck at times. So, what would you say your least favorite chore around the house is?
Uh, Least favorite chore around the house. Probably maintaining the pool.
Ooh, that's a new one. Now I'm curious. So, what is it about maintaining the pool? Because I could almost see it as more therapeutic because you're out there and you're whether you're running the vacuum. So, what is it about maintaining a pool that sucks?
Everything, the expense.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll give
I
that to you.
mean, things nowadays. I mean, the price of chlorine and everything
Yeah,
like that is just
that's
through the damn
valid.
roof. And just, like, shit, I gotta do this today. Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. That's definitely a good one. Was not expecting that. So
Yeah, I don't have a problem with laundry. I don't have a problem with the floors. I don't have a problem with cooking. I love cooking. That damn pool.
well, that's fair. Well, man, this has been awesome. I am again ecstatic to be able to help, try to help get the word out there on Lilith Rising with your song "Dear Lilith," with Void of Us that just dropped, the EP around the corner, a tour around the corner. Um, Anything that we can do to continue help shouting y'all's name from whatever it may be. Just truly a great opportunity to be on this side of house and be able to be here with you. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, man, for having us and taking the time. I mean, we really appreciate it. Definitely, if we're in your area, come see us, introduce yourself. Let's meet in person. Let's have a beer
Absolutely.
or
Definitely
a
looking
shot
forward
or
to
12, whatever.
it. Yeah, that's going to be a different kind of chore that will be cleaning up after that one. That's for sure.
And I won't be the one doing it, so I don't
That's
care.
right. That's right. Well, man, seriously, this has been awesome. Thank you for your time and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.